Hey everyone, welcome to Taking the Pulse, a healthcare and life sciences video podcast. I am Heather Hoops Matthews, here today with Maynard Nexon healthcare attorney Matthew Roberts. Matthew, good to be with you.
Good to see you.
And I'm excited. We're being joined by two guests today.
Absolutely.
First, SCBIO's Executive Vice President and COO, Erin Ford, and also SCBIO's Board Chair, David Stefanich, who I should say, additionally, you're CEO of Remedy. That's a tech company helping labs modernize diagnostic experience. So Erin and David, this is both your second time on Taking the Pulse. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Sure, of course.
Erin, let's start with a bit of a technical question. This is a mouthful, but I know it'll be helpful to know that SCBIO is the state affiliate for the following national life sciences associations. First, you've got Biotechnology Innovation Organization, you guys call it BIO, Advanced Medical Technology Association, and Pharma Research and Manufacturing of America. So how do all of those work together with SCBIO to promote our state, to promote South Carolina's life sciences industry?
Sure, it is a mouthful. They're all very important national entities that we're involved with. So as a state affiliate, we communicate the needs, trends, concerns of our industry members here in South Carolina to these national organizations who are mostly focused on policy. So they count on us to keep the pulse of the industry in our state. And then we in turn talk with them. We have monthly calls with BIO, who represents really biotech, AdvaMed, which represents as medical device, and then pharma represents those major pharmaceutical manufacturers. So an example would be for us to understand what policies that are, could or may affect our members would be an Inflation Reduction Act and some of the unintended consequences that it has on R&D and some of the investment chilling the biotech industry. Small molecule innovation could be hindered due to the drug pricing negotiation. So being part of these national organizations is important to understand what's going on in DC. Also opens the doors for us to work with our other state affiliates. We do a lot of partnerships with Georgia Bio, Mass Bio, and others to share best practices. We share challenges and successes. So that is how it all sort of weaves together. And we rely on these national partners to really help share the importance of our industry.
That makes sense. And it sounds like it probably covers the bulk of your industry, those three.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. David, this question is for you. Thanks again for coming on. But you and Erin and James and some others recently went to Boston for BIO's national convention. And tell us a little bit about that type of meeting and how you as the board chair and other life sciences leaders promote South Carolina at that type of meeting.
Oh, it was exciting. We saw colleagues that we've been working with around the world as well as nationally when we were there. And for SCBIO, it was exciting. It was the first time we've been there in 10 years. So it was really nice to see the energy post-pandemic, everything going on. And the representation from South Carolina was it was awe-inspiring. There was 41 delegates, 17 organizations represented there. I mean, there was north of 400 meetings packed into 5 days. I'm not sure how Erin and I kept above water there, but we did a lot of running around. And it was great because other companies such as Xylo Therapeutics, Scott Panicos was there, Jody Chastain from Right Dose, Matt from Guidetech were there, and everyone, there was great representation. There was collaboration. And I think all the companies that were present, actually, we walked away with more opportunities amongst ourselves, as well as introducing each other to our networks to foster good traditional opportunities. So I just think it's going to be something we're continuing to do. It's going to be on the landscape. And I think it just reaped benefits for the state of South Carolina.
How do you think South Carolina was received by other folks? They're coming from other states or from other companies, other countries. How do you think they look at South Carolina in terms of a life sciences perspective?
I'm going to be a little biased here, but I definitely look at it as an emerging center of excellence in the Southeast. Other groups, including Mass Bio, North Carolina Bio, I mean, they all came over. They were really welcoming. Everyone was very collaborative in their approach. And most people walked away thinking, you're doing all of that in South Carolina. And I was like, yeah, and this is the tip of the iceberg. This is just a delegation. So, find the opportunity to come down, learn what's within our ecosystem, best in class practices that are happening across the entire state. And we'll continue to set what the bar is of an emerging life science market in the Southeast.
Your organization does seem to have a tremendous amount of forward momentum, which is exciting. And I think, again, just
Sure, yeah.
breeds more momentum. Erin, what about SCBIO on an international scale?
Sure. Well, I mean, if you talk about, at Bio, that was, we had international presence there throughout. And that was really important for us to have a great presence, as David mentioned, having a booth. We had been there in years past to holding breakfasts and some informational sessions. This was really important for us to really sort of put a stake in the ground and talk about South Carolina as that center of excellence and emerging in the Southeast. Because when you go on that international sort of scale, we get confused a lot with North Carolina, the Carolinas. That's okay, right? Because North Carolina knows what they've been doing. They've had 50 years to get to where they are today. So for us, having that proximity is a good thing. For us to be standing out and to have the delegation, have the industry participation that we did at Bio was very important for us. And we continue that. We'll be at Medica, which is in Dusseldorf in November. We work with our partners at Department of Commerce to participate in that. For reference point, so at Bio, which was a very big show, 20,000 attendees. Medica has 120,000 people attend there. Now that's focused more on medical device. So we were biotech focused at Bio. So for us, it's important to continue to have a presence at these international conferences, and then also partnerships that we've had with Swiss Bio. We've been to their 2-day conference in the past and looking to revisit that and what's important for our industry. And that's what the companies and the CEOs like Dave, they drive our decisions of where we want to be and what's important as they continue to grow to support the existing industry and then also to recruit more companies in to join our ecosystem.
Right. Dave, you mentioned earlier that there were several, it may have been 17 South Carolina companies represented at the recent Bio meeting in Boston. Can you talk a little bit about SCBIO strategy, your vision for how members of SCBIO can be used at these type of meetings and in other outreach activities to promote what they're doing and then what's happening in the state?
Yeah, one of the strategic partnerships we have at SCBIO is with Clemson University. They've just opened up their Clemson University Precision Medicine Initiative that's happening in the biogenetic space. And they has a nice delegation up there. Trudy, who's heading the program, did a lot of visibility. She's a nationally known leader in that entire space and was actually on site. And there's other organizations as well as other companies that are looking for that, is this how to set the bar of what that is. And now they know that SCBIO Association is that conduit by going after and being able to make those connections going forward. Another new member of to the SCBIO group is Quest Diagnostics. They're super excited about their opportunities to continue to have a nice foothold. They've done acquisitions within the state, continuing to grow their presence. So those global brands, well-recognized brands that are affiliations with us, continue to just add solidity to what our message is, how we're grabbing those partnerships and really taking it to the next level and bringing that expertise. So our emerging life science industry is benefiting from those relationships because they have conduits to go connect some brands and some more key people that are out there. Maybe they wouldn't. And it gives an opportunity where we have our events at different venues. We have our board meetings. We have other opportunities for people that are, again, early stage companies have access to the same individuals that are really defining and shaping what life sciences are across the entire state.
Right.
This next question is for both of you. I'd love to know what you think the biggest challenge is for life sciences in South Carolina and also the opportunity. I mean, that might be fairly easy, but I'd love to hear what both of you think. Erin, start with you, and then Dave, you finish up.
Well, I think so. For us, biggest challenges are investment in the industry, and I know David can talk to this. VCs and private equity, in just having those folks understand what's happening and the caliber of companies that we have in South Carolina, and then infrastructure. So we're taking steps to address these challenges, which I think we can and then turn into those big opportunities. And infrastructure is one. Having Deputy Secretary of Commerce Ashley Teasdale at Bio was really critical for us to be able to show her the importance of the industry on a national level. She understands and has been an advocate and a champion of the life sciences, and continuing to do that as we're one of the leading industries and a focus area for commerce, in the years ahead of how can they support that. And so one of the areas that I think you will see being addressed is that infrastructure piece, and especially lab space. So we have Main Street Labs in Greenville, which SCBIO is going to have an office at. We have offices at 22 West Edge, and Life Edge development is happening. And then in a couple of years from now, from that growth, happening in Columbia at the Bull Street development. So we've got those avenues in place for development. And I think it's going to be critical to continue that momentum and work with our partners to have that develop. And, on that investment side, David, I know you can talk about this, and you and James Chappell, our CEO, have had a lot of meetings in this regard and opportunities for you, I think, as a company to make some more connections.
Yeah, our close affiliation with MassBio has just been wonderful because, again, that's an epicenter of where life science buzz is happening across the East Coast. And that connection has allowed a lot of cross-pollination. And an example of that is Remedy had the opportunity to go up and speak at Pharma Days. It was a McKinsey-led event. We were in front of a bunch of VCs that are in that market that understand what's going on. And then multiple conversations around, you're in Greenville, South Carolina? I'm like, yes, we are. And it made that connection. So follow on to that even further is the VC community is always looking for innovative companies that are out there. And sometimes it's all about visibility, and making those connections and making those asks don't just help a company like Remedy, it helps the entire ecosystem. So again, Matt over at Kiatech and ourselves continue to grow as a firm. We make sure that we're offering that opportunity to other early stage growth companies that are looking for those connections. So it's all about an ecosystem and understanding. MassBio has been down with us on several occasions. We are cross-pollinating. We're doing some other NGO type work across the EDGE program as well. So that collaboration has many layers to it. And that's what really gets exciting because, again, being on the radar is important. Having the meetings, there's the networking that's required to achieve those things. And a lot of times, some companies just don't have the visibility. And if we can build that conduit of visibility, therefore, it'll start catalyzing itself. A couple investments here, a couple investments there. And all of a sudden, we're becoming that hotbed of delivering world-class life science development, but also incubating world-class life science companies that are going to expand within our economic genre down here, but also on the national scale. So we're excited for what the future is going to bring, the opportunities we have, and then our ability as SCBIO to help those companies that are in early stages have access to those resources that they need in a way that they're used to how we do it, and be able to achieve success for everyone.
David, you and Erin both have mentioned the ecosystem that exists here in the state for life sciences companies. When we've represented a life sciences company, particularly new startup entities, we've encouraged them to become a member of SCBIO. And when you were thinking about becoming a member of SCBIO, and obviously you become a member and much more a leader within the organization, how did you evaluate the participation in something like SCBIO as a way to further your business? Because obviously it's working, but what was your thought process when you evaluated that?
When you're off building a company, sometimes you get myopically focused on, your firm and the responsibilities to your stakeholders and so forth. But for us, the mission of our company that Dr. Cross and I first founded was, everyone has an inalienable right to wellness. And the best way to have that become catalyzed is really through an organization like SCBIO, because it opens up so many more opportunities. The collaboration talks we're having with health systems across the state, the partnership we're doing with Clemson and the Rural Health Program, some of the programs we're doing with the school systems to help bring wellness into the school system, rural health, that is all about our mission. Companies can be successful, but a mission-driven company feels very fulfilling when you're doing those things. And SCBIO has been an absolute conduit with it. And we had spoken to other organizations around the country about different aspects of it. And we thought, our home is in Greenville, South Carolina. Our state is right here. We get excited about some of the legislative stuff and chatting with Ashley about what we can do. And if we can invest $1 of growth into the company, but it creates $5 of value for South Carolina. That's what we're here for. Because either you have passion for life sciences or you don't. but it can catalyze, it becomes infectious. And all of a sudden you have that ecosystem. I mean, James and I are having conversations in Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, up in North Carolina, as well as across the Massachusetts area. That's all coming from passion and infectious belief, and we can actually do things that are going to impact the world and make it as an epicenter coming out of South Carolina.
How important is it, staying with that ecosystem theme, in a relatively small and poor state to have three flagship research organizations like Clemson University, University of South Carolina, MUSC, and there are others. I just pick out the three big ones. How important this is for both of y'all to have those type of institutions here in such a small state and helping the life sciences companies?
Remedy, we're very fortunate to have collaborations with all of them. And what's really nice is the interoperability of the universities to think about that mission-driven aspect for the entire state. And for example, during the pandemic, we were doing a ton of work with Clemson University on their COVID program, to a point where Dr. Birx and the Trump administration came down and highlighted Clemson University as a center of excellence of how they handled the pandemic. That's cascaded into an entire wellness program across universities and the community and all of their vendors, which now is getting picked up as a best-in-class practice across the state. So having a strong research background in our state, Arthrex as well, from a device manufacturing and our orthotics work is amazing. So in the life sciences, you have the pharmaceutical delivery, you have amazing like Nephron, you've got amazing device companies like Arthrex, you've got research facilities. You cover the gambit that is life sciences in one state. And the collaboration and the willingness to partner and impact where we are and what we call home. It's just been amazing. And it transcends. Lots of times academics and industry don't always meet well because they have different agendas. But what I find here in the state is everyone understands the impact and everyone can get on board as well as driving their organization. And Erin?
David, you said it all, Dave. So, I mean, the enthusiasm, and that's what we are fortunate as an organization to have you as chair, for us to our fiduciary and operations board and our larger strategic advisory board. We have people and industry leaders that, like Dave, care about, of course, their success of their company, even more bigger than that. It's a bigger outlook on the success of the industry and at the end, improving patients' lives. So having that connection to the universities and that research is an important factor.
Well, for our listeners who are thinking, wow, I need to, get involved or check this out, you have an event coming up. It's the mid-year meeting. It's in September. I believe it's in Columbia, which is Richland County in the middle of the state. Tell us a little bit about that. What you're hoping for, Erin, and David, what you would say to a company who's maybe thinking about coming.
So it's our mid-year meeting. Last year, we sort of reinvented what our mid-year meeting is. So we're excited to bring it back. It's September 14th. The focus, sort of the keynote, will be about, I mentioned that Bull Street development and how it's coming along, what the plans are for the USC Med School. And then that related sort of life science related space that we talked about is so important for that infrastructure. 2 tracks. One on the executive level side, really regarding business and marketing and meeting those business goals. And the other is on the workforce development initiatives that we have and bringing together academia and industry, really a work session to address those gaps and the successes and to continue to move some of our programs forward. So that's really important for us. And then a job fair immediately following for college students. And that's something that our board had requested. So that's something new.
Great idea.
That is a great idea. David, what would you say to a company thinking about, should I, invest the time, should I invest the money and to go? What would you tell them?
I would encourage them to get involved. That's the number one message that we have out there. Every organization, you make it what it is, and it's all about involvement. So having a membership is great, but being involved in that membership and understanding, going to the social events. I think every time we go to we go out and we have a little social event, or we have a board meeting, I'm meeting another company, and I go, you're in South Carolina, and it's still happening even after a few years of doing work, because there's always emerging companies joining in. So it's exciting, but it's all about, you get out what you put in, and it's all about being involved. And, people aren't going to come knocking on your door. That ecosystem's out there. There's a wonderful conduit. Erin's always smiling when you show up. So that's a wonderful thing. She'll be like, hey, how you doing? And you feel like, all right, great. I'm glad I'm here. So there'll be a smiling faces there, and get involved. And the more you do, the more you get out of it.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
Both things.
Right.
Erin is always smiling when you show up at an event.
She is.
David Stefanich, CEO of Remedy, also board chair of SCBIO. Erin Ford, Executive Vice President, COO of SCBIO. Thank you both for your time today, for your commitment to bettering our state and pushing it forward. We wish you the best in September and beyond.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have a nice day.
Matthew, your practice. So we've known each other a long time. It was just healthcare, and it's morphed over time now, a larger and larger.
Yeah, for sure.
sections.
Because of folks like this, life sciences has become a bigger part of the industry, and so we are serving that industry, and it's growing, and it's exciting to watch it grow.
And to me, I'm a lay person, but to watch healthcare grow, to watch hospitals and the research universities kind of grow into this and meld together is exciting.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
it's taken a while, but some health systems now see the benefit of collaborating with life sciences companies, and I think that's flourishing, and hopefully will continue to expand.
Well, to be continued
Yeah.
on this discussion,
Yep.
that's for sure. For those of you who joined us today, we hope you enjoyed this conversation about life sciences in South Carolina. And we look forward to seeing you next time, right here on Taking the Pulse, a healthcare and life sciences video podcast.